You ain't gonna hear about it.
So, welcome back to the NFL Draft Bus. This is episode, I guess, four. So, we skipped a couple weeks.
Took a few weeks off, but we're back and ready for the NFL Draft. 4 days away.
4 days away.
Thursday night, prime time, just like always.
Everybody's going to have a K report, I hope.
Yep.
Just,
on it.
just give you some ideas. The Draft Bus podcast is going to be a little spread out here all the way into the season. Once the season kicks up, we're going to literally have them
Weekly.
every week. So you're going to have the weekly recap, your clipboard carrier of the week, all these types of words we're going to come up with.
We're going to have Fantasyland, your fantasy update, and the Angry Fan, which includes two of our friends. So look out for that. Just 1 minute clips that we'll upload and shoot out like that. But anyways, on to the week's topic. Well, let's review. And over the weekend, 2 huge signings. You had James Harrison going to the rival Bengals, which is huge.
It's a big thing for them.
Bengals just getting better and better as the Steelers and Ravens go down and down. So I think we're going to see a turn. Yeah, a turn in the powers there. And today, just recently, Darrelle Revis getting traded to the Tampa Bay Bucks pending physical. So
what did they get for that?
Well, they got a first round
of this year
or
next year.
They get the 13th overall pick.
Shoot.
And mid-rounder. And then they restructured Darrelle Revis' contract, no guaranteed money, so he's literally playing for a contract.
Which that's kind of what he should be doing, because he's probably played a lot better for him.
Yeah.
And they lost Talib last year.
Yeah, they lost Aqib Talib, and especially down there in that pass-happy NFC South, it's huge for them, so.
Trying to look on here. Alright, we'll get into it, guys, and I was trying to shuffle my stuff around since Tampa Bay lost their first-round pick.
Yeah.
The Jets even have another first-round pick?
If
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, they do. So now the Jets are going to have the 9th and the 13th pick.
So that's huge.
So they're pretty close. And I could honestly, we'll talk into it about what can happen, because there's going to be some trades going, I guarantee you, on the first day.
Oh, yeah.
There's some people who aren't even going to want to pick in the first round because there's nothing to pick.
Yeah.
But we'll jump right into it, and we're going to go through the order 1 through 32, give you some draft needs. Nick's going to tell you who he thinks they're going to get, and I'll kind of give you my opinion, which will be kind of Doc Brown crazy-ish type ideas. So the first one's Kansas City, and everybody knows Kansas City needs pretty much a defense, mainly the defensive line, some linebackers, and of course an O-line, as you've seen with Castle and Quinn back there getting pretty much killed.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell they need an offensive line.
Everybody would benefit from that. Dwayne Bowe and Jamal Charles. Now I have, of course, Luke Joeckel going there from Texas A&M. Everybody said it, number one. I mean, some people are saying Geno Smith, but you got to draft the best player available at number 1 overall.
Kansas City won't draft a quarterback.
No.
They just got Alex Smith. Andy Reid seems to believe in Alex Smith so far. May change week 2, the season.
Yeah.
But what I can see them do is I can see them definitely flipping that pick and drafting or trading a little bit down. But I do think that's who they're going to draft. Straight out of Texas A&M. I mean, he already is a pass blocker, as you can tell, with Johnny Football.
And I mean, that's their big need. And everybody, you can never invest more into an offensive tackle. With the number 1 pick.
Hey, you can hardly go wrong. There's been wrongs.
Yeah.
But he's going to usually play for you. And we'll just go down the list on the next one.
All right, number 2, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah,
their draft needs are...
Pretty much everybody's saying they need a quarterback. They got a house of them, and none of them seem to work pretty well. And, of course, offensive line, and definitely need a linebacker.
Yeah, I actually had them picking Ezekiel from BYU. Great pass rusher coming off the edge. I mean, down there in the South, AFC South, I mean, I don't know where they would go. Everybody's saying they're going to pick some sort of pass rusher because, I mean, Geno Smith right here, I don't see a fit.
I don't see a fit for Jacksonville with Geno Smith. As what I was telling you earlier, I see quarterbacks. There's some quarterbacks in this draft that are a fit for Jacksonville. I don't really have a pick for that because my first thought was like, hey, this is going to be a surprise. They're going to take, Matt Barkley in there and just be like, we'll take
Ty Barkley.
Yeah, they'll just draft some random quarterback, as Jacksonville usually does. But I do think it's a strong thing. Anything that can build their defense is going to be better than drafting another quarterback.
You put pressure on the quarterback, puts pressure on the offense altogether, gets you off the field.
A defense is something Jacksonville's never had.
Yeah.
So, But we'll move on to the next one, the third pick. You got Oakland Raider.
Finally got a first round pick.
Yeah, first time in quite a few years. On their needs, there go. Of course, they just got Matt Flynn. I think they're okay at quarterback. Some people may say they need a quarterback.
We'll see.
But I think they're okay. Their biggest thing is going to be a defense.
Yeah.
They got to build that defense. They lost several starters.
Yeah, they lost both corners, Michael Huff out in safety. So really, they need defensive linemen and secondary. Which I mean, I was flip flopping here, but I think they're going to draft Sheriff Floyd from Florida. I think big guy at the middle. So you're just going to create havoc and release the pressure on the secondary. So.
And kind of on my side of it is that I think where they struggled at in the past has been the secondary since they've traded everybody away.
Yeah,
they have a great DB and then he's gone, because they're using him for bait or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to probably try to get D. Miller out of Alabama.
Yeah, and as a Raider fan, I would be happy with either one, even Deion Gordon or Ezekiel if he falls to number 3.
Even if you had a bad taste in your mouth from Alabama before.
Yeah, we did.
Rolando McClain.
Rolando McClain.
So
thank God he's gone.
Well, now he's going to be a Raven, so we'll see how well he does in Baltimore. The next one's going to be Philly. So Philly, this is kind of where everybody thinks that one certain player is going to go.
And
but their needs are defense and, of course, offensive line. If you can tell how Michael Vick's pretty awful.
Vick's getting destroyed. But, you know what? I don't think they're going to do that.
Really?
I think I have Geno Smith going here because I think Chip Kelly and Geno Smith would gel so well in the NFL.
Definitely, that's one of the things they have. They have other stuff they can build on, but I don't think... I was reading an article about it, and all these coaches that did really well, like Bradshaw's old coach, not saying, there's like 3 other ones. There's a whole list of them, and I'll post it in the below part. And how first-year coaches drafted a quarterback their first year, and it led on to be successful. And I'm thinking, that this is going to be, Geno Smith is going to be Kelly's number quarterback. And he's going to build in that system, and he's going to work the system around him, not an aging Michael Vick, who's probably going to die on the field.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I think Geno Smith is either going to live or die by Chip Kelly.
Those coaches will live or die together, or the coach and player. Your next is going down the list, Detroit. They've had some big signings this offseason. Kind of changed some of their needs around so much. Right now, needs are, of course, going to be defense. I'm just doing defense as a whole because they have a lot of holes.
I mean,
and then offensive line because Matt Stafford seems to get hurt quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's always been their weak link.
I have them drafting D. Milliner from Bama on this just because you're in the pass happy NFC North with Aaron Rodgers, who, of course, can pick any defense apart, and the Bears with Jay Cutler, so I think that'd be a great fit for them.
Definitely, it'd be a big bust to them. They've never really had a star cornerback.
Yeah, and I mean, if Sheriff Floyd falls here, I can see him getting drafted there, so.
Yeah, I kind of had him taking offensive lineman, Eric Fisher out of Central Michigan.
I can see that, too.
Kind of helping Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
I think that right now their team lives and dies on Matt Stafford and how well he performs.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson is part of that, but if Matt Stafford's not there to do it, then there's no Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of how that one goes. We'll just keep going down the list. Cleveland, they need a whole team, except for Trent Richardson. But, I mean, their biggest area is they lost Cribbs. They don't know what quarterback they got. And they're missing quite a few links on defense. I was actually hoping they were going to get Harrison, but they were looking for it.
I think the Browns are one of those teams that are upcoming, and I have Deion Gordon going there.
Okay.
From Oregon. I think just him and the speed and size coming off the edge, I think that'd be huge for Cleveland to wreak havoc. And, I mean, the AFC North is just one of those teams that defense wins. You never see an overpower offense win that league just because of defenses in the past.
You think so with Matt Flacco. But I have them actually taking a cornerback with Xavier Rhodes from FSU. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the pick I have. I think they need something to protect their secondary because...
Well, they got Joe Hayden. But he's the only thing that's a secondary, so...
But, I mean, they need to build around it a little bit. I do think if Geno Smith failed, that Cleveland would probably take him.
They wasted a first-round pick on Brandon Weeden last year.
I know, but he hasn't played out.
I don't know. I think
I can see him doing it. I can see him wasting picks like that.
I could really see. It would not surprise me if one quarterback or running back was not drafted in the first round.
It would surprise me if Geno Smith wasn't drafted. Sad they didn't draft Best World.
Fucked up.
We had some
Fucked
technical
up.
difficulties, and we ended up talking for 6 more picks before this starts back up.
Okay.
So we just ended with Cleveland. We're going to kick it to Arizona. Of course, they just got Carson Palmer, great quarterback in my mind as far as
Pretty decent.
in the last 15 years, he's been a great quarterback. But I think it's a good thing for Arizona, just temporarily, not for the next 10 years. Like Kurt Warner, temporarily, good situation.
Yeah.
Their draft needs is pretty much offensive line, quarterback, because they need somebody, and some DBs. Nick, who do you got taking?
Eric Johnson at center, Central Michigan. Just protect him. I mean, give him time. He's going to throw Larry Fitz. You're going to score some touchdowns.
Get some pass protection right there.
Yeah.
I got an offensive tackle, Lane Johnson from Oklahoma. That's kind of who I got.
Yeah.
And we'll just kick it on down. You got Buffalo. Draft needs, linebacker, wide receiver, and I say quarterback. I mean, they got Kevin Cobb and they got Travarius Jackson, but
they need a lot of things.
That's like saying you have. I can't even think of people to say.
It is terrible.
Bobby Shea's your quarterback.
They need a lot of help, and I had them getting Jonathan Cooper out of North Carolina, helping that offensive line out, just to see if that can help any woes that they have.
Yeah. I got him taking Manuel, quarterback out of FSU. I think it's going to be a good fit for him. He's a Cam Newton-ish quarterback, not as, I guess, of a prolific of a passer, but he's still that same situation.
He's a game changer.
Yeah, I think he'll fit in pretty well there. It may not be who they take, because I know it's high for a quarterback, especially with the quarterbacks that we have. And we'll go to the next one. You got the New York Jets, who now have 2 picks in the first round.
This is their first of the next 4 or 5 picks, and I have them drafting Mingo out of LSU, get some pass rushing off the end to help Rex Ryan in that defense that's slacked the past few years.
Their draft needs that we'd identify would be a quarterback, because they don't know who their quarterback is. Linebacker, and then of course some running back, because they only have McKnight. Not that great of a running back. Hurt a lot, like you were saying.
Yeah. And I think you just extend that. I mean, with another first round pick, they're getting another mid rounder from Tampa.
Get something, yeah.
You get another decent running back out of there.
At the 9th pick, I got to take in Javaris Jones, linebacker out of Georgia, though.
That's huge.
I think it'll be a good fit for him. It'll definitely give him some run stopping ability on defense. We'll kick it to the next one, which would be Tennessee at the 10th pick. Things they need. I think they need a quarterback real bad. They definitely need an offensive line and possibly some secondary.
Yeah, I have them getting Chance Warmack out of Bama. I think that will really help them in just the whole offensive scheme that they have.
Yeah.
Help protect Chris Johnson and whatever the hell they're doing with Jake Locker. I think that will help out.
Definitely. I actually had the same person out of Bama going there. Be a big help to them. We were talking about possibly them taking a running back, but that's going to be later, not this round, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, to kind of take some of the workload off Chris Johnson and a not so great Sean Green. But I mean, they got a lot of things to do. They're going to test their quarterback situation this year really hard, and I think we both agree that we think Fitzpatrick's probably going to start by the end of the year.
He will start by the end of the year. Jake Locker is no longer the answer for Tennessee.
The Jake Locker experiment has proven to be an awful experiment.
Yeah.
Rusty Smith might be better.
But on to the next one, we got the San Diego Chargers with the number 11 pick overall.
Some needs being offensive line, some DBs. Philip Rivers' career is on its way out if he doesn't get some protection.
And I really think, and like you said, he needs protection. He's got awesome wide receivers, pretty decent defense. I have them drafting Lane Johnson out of Oklahoma, helping that offensive line out.
Yeah, I had that guy going a little earlier. But I still haven't taken offensive lineman with Cooper out of UNC. They got to get something for Philip Rivers. He's had a horrible time out there, not being able to live. You know, he can't last long enough in the pocket to get a playoff. It's just not worthwhile for them. They have to take an offensive lineman. It could be anybody, but they have to take one for sure.
Yeah. On to number 12, we got Miami Dolphins. Done a lot of off-season splashing. Get that? Dolphins splash.
New logo, too.
Yeah, new logo.
I think it looks good. It looks.
And we didn't even announce that with the Jacksonville, their new feminine logo.
Both of them look pretty feminine. But I hope that's not how the logo's going to change to, though.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't imagine, like, the Raiders having, like,
a pirate, just like
a pirate with a pink bandana just set up there or something. But Miami's draft needs, I think, definitely some defensive draft needs. Secondary is a big part of them, and I think they really need a running back because they've kind of solidified their passing offense, but nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, they got Cameron Ware out there on their offensive line. Outside linebackers, and I mean, right here, you're going to either draft an offensive tackle or a defensive tackle, and I have them drafting a flunker out of Bama, help Ryan Tannehill out, see,
Do some pass blocking and stuff.
invest in that future, especially with Mike Wallace expanding the top and Hartline cutting across the middle. I think that'd be huge.
I have them here taking Eddie Lacy out of Bama, the running back.
Yeah.
I think a running back is something they need, and I think if a running back goes, this is the high as a running back's going to go.
Yeah.
It's the 12th pick in this round, and that's even if they go. And the biggest thing, like we were talking about before we had technical difficulties, is that I think Miami, if a pick's going to get traded, it's going to start getting traded here. None of the picks in the top 10, I think, are going to get traded down or anything like that. I think it's 10 and below.
I think this is going to be trade happy draft.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's going to be more than there's going to be 2, 3, 4. Much like the year Tim Tebow got drafted, and people just started drafting. You know, I can't remember who it was, but somebody had a pick all the way to the top, and they ended up at the 15.
Yeah,
and they just kept pop down. The Broncos did that for
sure.
sure.
It was St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis kept falling because they kept trading to get stuff, and it really helps. And this year, it's really going to help. And the fact it's going to help teams a lot more, like the Jets, the St. Louis, and the Vikings, who have 2 picks in the first round. You could trade one of those away for almost, it's worth a lot of money.
I mean, that's pretty. That's huge. It's almost like a pretty decent free agent signing.
And the biggest reason why these people have these 2 picks is that this is a horrible year for the draft. It's all offensive linemen. It's all linebackers, DTs. It's no special players. It's not that many wide receivers. I mean, you have one quarterback that's really projected to go to the top round.
10, yeah.
Yeah, top 10 even, and that's kind of just crazy.
Yeah, they said this is the first time since the 80s that a running back or quarterback might not get drafted in the first round.
They also said this is the first time since the NFL merger that a Big Ten player may not get drafted in the first round.
Wow.
And that's
huge, especially with the Oklahoma and
yeah. I mean, it's the first time since the merger that they even think that no one's going to go out of one of these schools.
That's crazy.
We'll go to the next one. It's going to be your 13th pick, which was Tampa Bay's.
Yeah.
Now the Jets. And we'll kind of go through and we'll tell you what we think Tampa Bay would have got, and we'll tell you what the Jets probably will get. Tampa Bay's defense needs were defense. Anything defense is going to help them. Their offense is kind of set. They got some okay receivers. They got a good quarterback, and they got a great running back.
Yeah, and I mean, they traded away their first-round pick for an awesome shutdown corner, which is huge in the NFC South. So,
which they probably thought it was better than drafted.
Yeah, I mean, because right now I have them either reaching for Starr as a defensive tackle, and I mean, even kind of Tavon Austin here getting a wide receiver to help Josh Freeman out.
I can see that.
So,
I can see him getting a wide receiver.
With the Jets in this pick, I mean, I have them drafting Mingo a couple picks earlier on the defensive end, but even Starr here would help. Starr, you got Tavon Austin. There are so many things the Jets now can do with this pick, and I mean, Jarvis Jones, I still have him on the board.
There's so much they could do. I mean, they could even surprise you up and right there, take another running back or it's going to help them. Yeah, they need 2 picks this year. I mean that
that was the smartest.
If they didn't trade for it, the NFL should have gave them one. Yeah. They need it. They need those picks. I think on that end, Tampa Bay, I thought was going to get Desmond Trufant from Washington, the cornerback. They got Revis, so they filled that spot in. Yeah. But I also think that pick can also go for the Jets. So it's something they can really help on. I mean, anything's going to help them. And it's not been a Rex Ryan year for them at all.
Yeah, and I mean, Rex Ryan, this is where Rex Ryan thrives in these type of drafts with defensive linemen.
Yeah.
Jarvis Jones, Mingo, all these pass-happy defensive end / outside linebackers.
But I think this year, Rex Ryan's life depends on what he can do this year than it has any year before. We'll just kick it on to the next one. We're just going to go to Carolina. Their draft needs defense, which is where they've failed at for the past couple of years. Yeah. And they need some offensive linemen. Cam Newton's having a rough time out there. This is kind of where I think a big pick is Carolina possibly could trade this. I don't think they have any one player in mind that they want to get.
Yeah, I mean,
they need players, but they may not have one in mind, and they could probably get something better and rack up in the second round, where a lot of the action is going to go in the second round. A lot of the skill players.
We got a lot of, this is reaching for a wide receiver, and let's face it, they can use another wide receiver with Steve Smith.
Steve Smith's on the way out.
Yeah, and I mean, who's that? Brandon LaFell. He's the only other deep threat that they have.
And he's okay.
Yeah.
He's no Steve Smith, but they've been living on Steve Smith since Jake Delhomme
Yeah.
took him to a Super Bowl.
But I have them helping out that defense, drafting Sheldon Richardson from Mizzou, stopping the run and stuff, getting after Matt Ryan and Drew Brees down there.
That's
keeping
the
the defense off.
I got them taking Star, the DT out of Utah, which you just had the Jets taking kind of before. I think it's going to help them. They have a terrible time stopping the run as it is.
Yeah. I think this is huge for them. So.
Yeah, definitely. We'll take it on the next one. You got the Saints at the 15th pick. Their needs, I think, forever.
Their needs coming back now is freaking Sean Payton face that just destroyed their team last year, and I think
the fact that he wasn't able to get
yeah.
I think he means more to that team than Drew Brees means to that team, and that's saying a lot.
I think that is really going to help them, and they're definitely going to be in contention this year.
But I think as their need is every year, they're kind of like one of those Green Bay teams that doesn't need it, and that's a defense.
Yeah,
they have a lot of places to grow in defense, but it's the same way with the Packers. And the Packers have won Super Bowls without a defense, pretty much.
Yeah, and this is the perfect draft for it. That is definitely like where the Packers and Saints and Falcons are going to thrive. I have them drafting Jarvis Jones or Ogletree out of Georgia. Get off that end after Matt Ryan, just because now in pass happy league, if you have one of those like Clay Matthews getting that monster deal, you need all these freaking nature linebackers coming off the end to put pressure on the quarterback.
I got him taking Sheldon Richardson, DT out of Missouri.
Yeah.
I think it's going to help them a lot, especially in the way they're at, because all the teams they face seem to be more running teams.
Yeah.
In the long run, Atlanta not so much now, but they do have Steven Jackson.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're more running teams, and that's something that's going to help them.
Yeah, I really think it is, and like I said, I really think this is where the Saints are going to thrive and make a lot of ground. And
teams that don't have good defenses, or you don't think in your head have good defenses, this is the year they're going to fill their spots. Yeah. They're going to really bring their defense out from the woodworks, really.
Yeah.
Takes us next pick. We got St. Louis at 16. Needs running back. They lost Steven Jackson, like we just talked about. Yeah. Wide receiver, they lost Amendola.
But lost Amendola, but they signed Jared Cook from Tennessee.
Yeah, so that brings some kind of a tight end idea. And I think they need some, of course, secondary on this one, which this is a good year for that.
Yeah, and I mean, they got 2 picks in this first round. I have them drafting.
2 picks really close. Yeah. Let's just say that.
I have them drafting Tavon Austin with this pick, but I can see them either reaching for Cordell Patterson, that playmaker from Tennessee, or Justin Hunter.
I think if Austin is there, they're going to take him.
Oh,
if Austin's not there, which he could go 10th and less, I could definitely say he could go 10th and less. If he's not there, Cordell Patterson's going to be their go-to guy.
Yeah.
I don't think Hunter's going to take it first round.
See, I like Justin Hunter more than Cordell Patterson.
He has such bad hands.
You know what? He runs routes. He's such. Ever since he started at Tennessee and he blew out his knee against Florida, he was fantastic before that. But
and we'll talk about it. I think there's one team that he could fit at right now pretty well. But I'll talk about that when we get to their picks.
Is that does Mr. Tom Brady play for that team?
No. But I think Tavon Austin is definitely probably going to be a St. Louis guy.
They're taking a wide receiver with this pick no matter what.
Yeah,
and if they don't take one here, they're taking one at their next pick at
their next picks are 22. Yeah. We'll kick it on to the next person. You got Pittsburgh at 17. A team that really fell off last year. It seems like everybody was hurt on their team at one point or another.
And they are a team that needs a lot of help this year.
They need a lot more help. They lost some people. Harrison's gone now. They're just not the team they used to be. The Steelers used to be a team you feared. Now it's like it's not such a bad team to play anymore.
It used to you're lucky if you scored 10 points against them now.
Yeah.
I mean, Troy Polamalu's not the playmaker he was anymore.
By far.
They signed all their linebackers to outrageous contracts, and that's coming back to haunt them.
They've lost their. They don't really have a running back.
Yeah,
I remember the Steelers that had the bus. And that's just something I think has always been. I think the Steelers have been a defensive running team.
Yeah, and I mean that won football games now back in the day, but now they're trying to change. And I mean, with them losing Mike Wallace, they almost lost Emmanuel Sanders to the Pats.
Yeah, they lost,
but they matched his contract, so they got him. But I have them signing Tyler Everett from Notre Dame. Get some little pass happy in the middle. Like tight end help with Big Ben just to help out with wherever they can on offense.
Big Ben, I think, would be really pretty good at dumping it off. I mean, have they? I can't remember a time when they've had a decent tight end though.
I mean, Heath Miller was a beast.
Well, yeah, Heath Miller.
For a few
I always
years,
forget, and then he traveled the West Coast for a while.
Yeah, and I think he could replace Heath Miller in the
Yeah,
middle.
definitely.
Just to help out.
Pittsburgh's needs offensive line. Ben Roethlisberger seems to get hurt quite a bit. Running backs, and of course, as he said, some wide receivers since they're losing some of their threats, and anything to fill their defense. I actually have them taking a cornerback with Jamar Taylor out of Boise State. Not so much a pick. I can definitely see them going with the tight end out of Notre Dame.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Pittsburgh's pick is literally across the board. They can help out in any department. So,
and this is a good year for them to fill it because they don't really need the skill positions. They don't need a quarterback.
And
I mean, they have a quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean they're at 17 instead of 28, 29, 30 where they usually are in a draft. So
I think you get some pretty good picks here.
Yeah.
I could see them kind of trading away too, but to get some more picks in the later rounds.
And I mean, if Jarvis Jones happens to fall here, I would totally see them hopping on.
Definitely,
that.
yeah. If he did fail,
Yeah.
I think they would take him. There, who else was somebody else? I thought they would fall. He would take him.
Monte Tea, I've heard that by a few teams.
I don't think he's going to go that high, but if he does, I think that's a great place to go because that coach will make him into a better player. We'll go on to the next one, which are going to be your Dallas Cowboys, which I'm
Jerry
just waiting.
Jones. Yeah,
I'm waiting for them to realize when Tony Romo is not their quarterback of the future, nor their quarterback of ever. They need offensive line. It kills them. I think their offensive line just kills them.
See, and I really don't have them drafting. I don't know what Dallas like. Dallas on paper is so good.
Dallas on paper looks like a good team.
But,
definitely, most certainly.
I don't know. Like I have them drafting Sylvester Williams from North Carolina, up the middle, just getting after quarterbacks and starting the runs. But I don't know what else they would do.
See, I have them taking offensive lineman with DJ Fluker.
Oh yeah, from Bama.
Yeah, from Bama. I think it's going to help them. It most certainly can't hurt them because some of their offensive linemen are getting old.
Yeah.
And I feel like someone would need to retire. And this is, in my mind, when I'm thinking like 10 years, for the past so many years I've been watching the draft, this is the absolute worst draft. And I'm going to keep saying it. I hate seeing offensive linemen go in the first round.
It's a terrible draft for people that like playmakers.
Definitely.
But,
that's not even me.
Friday
I'm a game manager quarterback guy.
Friday and Saturday's draft is going to be awesome.
It's going to be a lot better Friday and Saturday.
First round is literally I think the first round is going to go by one record time. Just with these
it definitely could be one of the quickest ones.
Who they want and when they want.
Which right now I think the only team that doesn't, in my mind, I think the team that doesn't know who they want is Kansas City because they're like we got 4 people. Usually the first pick's already made up.
Yeah.
By now they know who they're getting. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Kansas City doesn't know because there's so much to pick from. That's not skill. That it's hard to kind of do it. We'll kick it to the next one. You got the New York Giants at number 19. Need some defensive and offensive line. And in my mind, keep some DBs.
Yeah, that's.
I think everybody needs DBs.
That's where I have Desmond Trufant falling to is New York.
Okay.
Out of Washington, I really think that would help them out.
That'd be a great place for him too.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not many teams that need defensive back help, and I mean, he's not one of those top 15 players that. Even at number 19, I think this is kind of stretch for him, but I really think that's a good fit for them in helping out.
Well, they're in a good place of where I think they'll fall.
Yeah.
They'll trade that pick if they can.
Yeah.
But they lost some things on the defensive line, and here this is where I have them taking Ezekiel out of BYU, defensive end, because I think it'll be a good fit. I honestly do. Because Coughlin's going to die there. But
yeah, he will.
He's going to die on the field. But I think they need to fill a defensive line because that is a team that their defensive line just wrecks people.
Yeah, and I mean with JPP and with Ezekiel off the end to replace OCU Manure going down to Atlanta, I think that'd be huge.
I think it would be. I think it'd be a good thing for him.
If he happens to fall, I know I had him going really early at number 2
in the second.
Yeah.
Or you're talking about the second pick.
Yeah, number 2 overall, and I mean even there, he
could fall. If anybody falls in this list, I'm thinking he might be one of the biggest people to fall.
There's questions.
There's an abundance of those guys, And
Alec Ogletree, you still got him.
Yeah.
There's just so many.
Which that's going to lead us to the next one. Chicago at the 20th pick. We're almost to the end, guys. 20th pick, Chicago. Needs some offensive line. Jay Cutler's been dying for years there. Linebacker. They lost their middle linebacker. Who knows where he's going to go?
I have them replacing him with Monte Teo.
Do you? Okay.
I think
Actually, I'm taking Ogletree.
And I mean, that would help too. I mean,
definitely, you could shift some people around. Just because some people are outside linebackers or inside linebackers, doesn't mean they can't play.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that'd be a good fit there because I think they would rather have Ogletree than Monte Teo because of his whole girlfriend debacle and how bad he played in the national championship.
But everything I read,
that's a black cloud over him, though, is how bad he played in that girlfriend mess.
But you know what? That was against a amazing Alabama team, and
he's going to be playing a lot better teams in the NFL than
he got catfish. That's all we can say. Number 21, we got Cincinnati Bengals. They need some defensive help. They got
definitely need some defensive help. They just made their linebacker core
10
100 times better.
Yeah.
They not only need that, they need, of course, I feel like they need a running back because the law firm's not their fix for running back.
But, I mean, like we said in this draft, this is not a running back draft in the first round.
No, not at all.
That's all we're going over. Second, third round, pick up a running back. Monte Ball is going to be there in the second round. Eddie Lacy might be there. There's a lot of good, decent running backs in this, that you can pick up for a second rounder. I have Ogletree going there, but that was before the James Harrison signing. But if
he still could go there, though.
Yeah.
He still could go there.
I just think they're going to draft something on the defense.
I think if Trufant falls, Cincinnati's going to be a great place he lands. I think they're going to pick up the free safety out of Texas, Kenny Sorrow, or
I actually have
something like that.
Him going to the next pick into St. Louis.
Okay, so we'll just go right into the St. Louis 22nd pick. Second pick of the first round. Needs, like we said, running back, wide receiver, DBs. You have Kenny going there?
Yep, Kenny or Sylvester Williams. I mean, I don't see them drafting Tavon Austin and or Cordell Patterson.
I have them taking a big stretch here and getting Monte Ball, running back out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, you never know with Jeff Fisher over there.
Yeah, and he's good at turning some running backs into stuff that you wouldn't think would be a running back. I mean, he did something with Lindell White when he was there.
But you got to think Monte Ball's got a lot of miles on him from 4 years, just ground and pound.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be a long-term fix, but he's going to be a fix that'll make them a playoff team now. Because Steven Jackson was getting hurt so much, and he wasn't in there playing that hard. And I think if you have Bradford and a good running back, I think you can become an 8-8 team that makes the playoffs.
They definitely need. I think with the first pick, they're going to draft a wide receiver with that.
No, wide receiver for sure.
That's just going to help them stretch the field, and whatever they get in the second pick is going to just help them out.
Yeah, and the second pick, I can see them going wide receiver. I don't think they're going to get a defensive player with either of these first round picks. But again, if Monte Ball, if Lacy's there, they're going to take Lacy out.
Oh yeah,
I'm almost 100% sure they're going to take Lacy. But I think he's going to go somewhere between, Miami at the 12th pick to probably St. Louis 16th pick.
I could see almost Eddie Lacy going to Dallas because they don't have a running back.
Why would they want? And they have like a committee.
Who? Felix Jones?
And where? And Philip Tanner. No one even knows who that is. The only person even knows who Philip Tanner is.
Anyways, on number 23, we got the Minnesota Vikings who just signed Greg Jennings from the Packers.
A team that has no passing offense whatsoever.
AP, I mean, everybody's up and down about Christian Ponder, but I have them drafting Cordell Patterson, the playmaker out of Tennessee here.
Yeah, I definitely have them. I have them saying the same guy, Cordell Patterson. Their needs defense, wide receiver. I mean, they just got Jennings, but and then a linebacker. Everybody knows their running back is set.
Yeah.
All they need is a quarterback to hand it off to Adrian Peterson and two wide receivers that'll block.
Yeah, and
Jennings isn't a wide receiver that's going to block, first off.
But I mean, I also have them, another pick that they might do is Werner from Florida State. I think that'd be huge coming off the end, especially up there in the NFC North.
I gotcha. This is also where I thought that they, if Cordell Patterson's gone, Justin Hunter can fall here easily. But we'll go on the 24th pick where you got Indianapolis, a great surprise of last year. Andrew Luck led them to a playoff game. Mode. If Ray Lewis hadn't announced his retirement, they could have won.
Yeah,
they might have actually had a chance to win that. They need offensive line a little bit. They have some older linemen that are getting out of the way and kind of getting tired. Defensive end, of course, they just lost Freeney. Who knows where he's going to land, and then possibly some secondary.
Yeah, and that's the thing is this draft is there's still so many decent free agents out there that.
Yeah, and that's hurting a lot too.
Yeah, and I mean that's the big unknown. But I have them drafting Xavier Rhodes from Florida State. help out the secondary, especially shutting
Really?
down. Yeah, shutting down. Really, the Texans.
I feel like it's really far away for him to fall. I mean, that's just I do because I already have him going to Cleveland, way up there.
I don't know. I think a lot of teams are going to focus on the linebacker and defensive tackle and offensive tackle instead of cornerbacks.
Because Indianapolis there, I have taken Dante Jones from UCLA, defensive end, a great replacement I think for Freeney.
Yeah.
That's as high as that guy's going to go. He's not going to go any higher in the first round than the 24th pick. There's no way.
Yeah.
But I think it's all the way down here, the 24th pick. That's the best guy left.
Yeah.
As far as defensive end goes.
On to number 25, we got the Minnesota Vikings second pick. And I mean, depending on what
this is where Seattle would have picked.
Yeah, this is Seattle's pick, but they traded away Percy Harvin to get Percy Harvin, and I see them drafting Kevin Minter out of LSU to help that defense. And I mean, if they do Cordell Patterson or Werner and then get Minter, that's huge because that is two people that can come in, step in right away to help out.
This one, like we talked about, Minnesota needs some defensive type players and some wide receivers. This is where I have him taking Monte Teo at Notre Dame. I think this is a good fit for him. I mean, it can't hurt. I mean, their defense isn't that great.
Yeah, I mean, they got some decent players, but nothing.
Yeah, but I think this is a good fit for him. If anything, he's going to learn a lot from the running game from AP.
Oh yeah.
Kind of have to go against him in a way, you know. But I thought that this would be the highest that Monte Teo would go as the 20th pick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see him. 20th down is where I see him. The highest I have him going is the Bears at 20.
We'll get it in now. The top teams of the league are coming up here.
Yeah.
You got Green Bay at 26. I think they need a little bit of offensive line. Most certainly need a running back and a wide receiver.
See, and this is to me where me and him differ. I think that this is the perfect draft for Green Bay because one, they're not wasting a first round pick on anything crazy. Like they don't need wide receivers. They don't need a tight end. They need one defensive backs and a running back. And Eddie Lacy, perfect pick here at number 26.
I honestly think Eddie Lacy is going to be picked up a lot earlier than 26. But Green Bay would be a good fit for him.
I think
it's not going to be a place that he's going to prosper in my mind.
No,
he's going to be a good running back. He's going to get you your first downs. He's going to bust you in the end zone at 5 and short or whatever.
That's what they need.
And I mean, that is what they need. But I think that Eddie Lacy is a better running back than that. I think he could be a real runner on a real team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Green Bay's not a real team. But, you know, on a team that actually needs him. I mean, they got Cedric Benson. They could get some guy off free agency wire that can pound it in 1 yard.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You know, that's just what I'm saying. But Green Bay here, I have them taking Robert Woods out of USC for wide receiver just to kind of fill in. I mean, they lost Jennings. They don't need anything really, but I think it's a receiver they can help with.
Cobb and Jordy Nelson are the future of that team. With
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying this guy is going to be a number one, number two receiver. He's just going to be a fill-in receiver, which would be a good kick returner type guy. And that's kind of what I kind of see. Running back, if Lacy's there, they're definitely going to take him, though. No doubt. We'll go on the 27th pick where you got Houston. What I identified as a need is O-line, secondary, wide receiver.
Yeah, I have them getting Robert Woods from USC here.
Okay.
Help out on the other side of Andre Johnson because Andre Johnson's only got a few more years in the tank.
Andre Johnson, arguably the second best receiver in the league.
Like
arguably,
you can make a debate for him top 5 for sure.
Yeah, but
just where he falls in the top 5.
I have him here taking a wide receiver as well, but DeAndre Hopkins out of Clemson is going to have that. And that's only because I have Woods going to Green Bay. If Woods is there, he's going to go to Houston.
Yeah,
I mean that's just they're taking a wide receiver. They're not taking anybody but a wide receiver.
Yeah, they need a lot of help, and I mean even Justin Hunter's still out there.
Justin Hunter could go here. Cordell Patterson, I think, is going to fall that low. He's going to get picked up. Who knows? It's the draft. It's the craziest draft, I think, because you don't know who's going to go.
There's a lot.
There's no set nothing. You know, they're just going. We'll go to the next one where you got Denver, my favorite team, of course. The 28th pick. I identify their needs as D-line, DBs with an aging Champ Bailey. That's the only DB that we've had ever for the past ever since we traded Clinton Portis for Champ Bailey. You know? But that's kind of the needs I have. Do you have any different? I mean, I'm kind of biased.
No, that's what lost them the football game last year.
Yeah, most certainly. DB.
what's his name? Porter. Porter's now a Raider. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tracy Porter's now a Raider.
Yeah,
so they
definitely.
need a lot of help in that secondary. Especially, I mean,
Our offense is kind of set. I mean, we have, and this I'm saying we.
Kind of.
I said our offense is set, is what I kind
Okay.
of said.
Well,
Well,
I
kind of
said you
said.
literally
I'm being
have
modest, okay?
The best wide receiver core in the NFL.
I'm being modest. We got great wide receivers. We got arguably the best quarterback in the league this year. Running backs are okay.
I would say they're drafting a defensive back because I really think Freeney's going to sign here, and I have them drafting.
I hope Freeney. If Freeney signs there, no doubt, cornerback. But he's not going to sign before the draft.
Yeah, I just have them getting DJ Hayden from Houston.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to sign D-line. That's just what they need. I think they're going to get Jonathan Banks from Mississippi State. I hope some of these better cornerbacks fall. I hope Xavier Rhodes falls this far.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, but I just hope. And I can also see him just trading away this pick.
Yeah, I mean, but also Jamar Taylor from Boise's going to be up there, so that's another huge.
See, I have him going a little bit further up.
Yeah.
But they're going to take a cornerback, or they're going to trade that pick.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I feel it's going to go. We'll do the 29th pick. You got New England. They need some wide receivers. They got Amendola, but I mean that's
it.
They need more.
Yeah.
Amendola, I don't think is going to be healthy the entire year.
With the whole Gronk situation, rumors.
Well, even Hernandez just had surgery.
Yeah,
so
Hernandez had surgery, but he's going to be better. This is where I have Justin Hunter going, which I think is a great fit for him.
Okay.
And great fit for Tom Brady, just stretching the field and everything.
I actually haven't taken a DE Warner out of FSU because I just feel like at this point most of the wide receivers would be gone.
Yeah.
But again, like I'm talking about, Justin Hunter is going to be this one that's going to fluctuate from the first to second round.
Yeah.
And he could go there. I mean, if they're like, hey, we really need a guy, they're going to take him. It's kind of hard to get in the Belichick's head and even think what he's going to do.
God even knows what he's thinking right now.
God doesn't even know what he's thinking.
Yeah, he is 3 steps ahead of everybody in this draft.
But he's going to make some surprise pick. He's going to pick somebody that you're not going to expect.
Yeah.
And it's going to turn out somehow, some way. We'll go to the 30th pick. You got Atlanta. I think they need a tight end. They need a kind of a third down running back and DTs.
Yeah, I mean, to replace, I could see that with helping Tony Gonzalez with him retiring after this season.
This is going to be his last year. This is Gonzalez's last year.
But I actually had them dropping an offensive lineman, Kyle Long, out of Oregon, helping protect Matty Ice, just because they put in a lot of eggs with that whole offense, and that's how they're going to win games. They just try to outscore you.
I could talk for days about Matt Ryan.
I think everybody can.
About how I don't like it. But anyway, here I am taking a DT because they need to fill that hole a little bit. And Kawana Short out of Purdue is kind of the guy I'm thinking they're going to go. This pick is a tough pick because there's not really many big players left by the time it gets here.
Yeah.
And I could see some skill players kind of going higher up right there. Some other wide receivers. Monte Ball, I could definitely see going right there.
Yep. But I mean, they
kind
just
of fill the roles of Turner.
Well, you got to think they just signed Steven Jackson too. So
yeah, but Monte Ball could be the plowback so much as I think I know Steven Jackson's
I think
kind of a power back, but I always feel that he's a finesse kind of guy more.
Yeah.
He's power but finesse. We'll kick it to the next one. You got San Fran, 31, who actually has the second or third pick in the second round.
They got.
Who'd they get it from?
No, they got the first pick. They got
the second and third pick.
No, they got
the first pick. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so they got 31 and then 33 picks. So they got the first pick in the second round as well. So they can pretty much bam here real quick, get what they need.
And I mean,
their needs is secondary, I think for sure, because they just filled everything.
Yeah, and I mean, I have them drafting either Marcus Hunt from SMU or John Jenkins to help that defensive line, Alden Smith and stuff, getting after the quarterback and stopping the run. Because I mean, they play in a run happy conference with
everybody's
Marshawn Lynch and everything.
Either got a quarterback that can run except for Bradford.
Yeah.
Or now Cardinals don't really have anybody run either.
But I don't know. I think that's huge. Help the defensive line.
Yeah, I have them there taking a strong safety actually, Matt Elm out of Florida.
That's huge. I can see that.
Because I think that's the one spot that they need filled on their defense right now. I mean, if you look at the 49ers on paper, like we're talking about,
Great.
it seems like a team that no doubt is going to win the Super Bowl for the next 3 years.
They're really young,
You know?
really talented.
The oldest player on that team is like Frank Gore.
Yeah, and Frank Gore's knees are just done. And I mean, they got Kendall Hunter to back him up.
Yeah, they do. We'll kick it. Last pick of the first round, of course, is Baltimore, Super Bowl champions. They got some big holes to fill. They're going to probably lose their safety.
Yeah.
With Ed Reed, and then of course they lost the face of the Ravens organization for the past forever. For as long as I've been watching football, he's been the face of their organization.
But I mean, they signed Rolando McClain. Yeah, he's not the best person, but yeah,
terrible field, but it's still a field.
They signed Michael Huff to replace Ed Reed in the backfield, but I actually had them drafting Jonathan Cyprin from Florida International. How about that defensive back?
Same thing. That's exactly what I have. I got the same guy. I think this is going to be kind of a surprise, not so much of a surprise pick.
Yeah.
They got a lot of hole to fill. I mean, they got all those picks from the NFL, you know, like what do they call them?
Compensation picks.
Compensation picks. They got a lot of holes to fill. And I think this is going to be the start of building that defense back to what it could be. They just lost so much. It's kind of hard. Their defense isn't going to be like it was this year at all. But this is going to help them protect themselves.
Yeah, I think it's huge.
So,
but sorry we ran so long. We went through the whole first round.
That's kind of what we thought for this week. We'll just talk about it on Twitter this week. We'll talk about some other players, some maybe sleeper picks that we have in mind.
Yeah.
Draft on Thursday. We'll be live tweeting during the draft for sure, I would say.
Yeah.
Just talking about what we didn't expect, what we expected. I mean, leave your comments who you think is going to go, what you hate, whose picks you think are stupid.
Yeah, just let us know.
How much you don't like Matt Barkley, whatever.
Matt Barkley, all of them, Monte Te'o. But this draft is going to be very interesting. I can't wait really for Friday and Saturday because I think that's when a lot of teams are going to start making a lot of moves, getting those players because, like we said, that's when the playmakers are going to start falling in the draft.
Yeah, unfortunately, the first round is going to be kind of dry.
Yeah.
You know, and this is kind of not that exciting for me. You know, this is our first podcast for the draft, and who knows, we picked the worst draft to do a podcast for in the past 10 years.
Yeah. You know? But yeah, we'll recap next week with draft and say our surprises and our
it'll definitely be a lot shorter.
What ifs and stuff. So
definitely not shorter. Thanks for watching. Just look it up on Twitter for us. NFL_draft_bust.
Boom.
Talk to you next week.
See you guys later.